These Bose solo soundbar controllers are very unreliable, to say the least. Got a power issue here on the power supply side. Of course, vagaries of the mains power supply and transients and things. Modern equipment isn't really that protected against a real mains transient. But I digress slightly, because what I was just going to say was the video that follows is kind of done in real time, and it's just a journey through trying to diagnose one of these. And it's just part one of the video is just fiddling about and also doing the firmware upgrade to see whether it solves the problem. But reflecting on what I've just done in the video, there's going to be another part to the video, part two, which is the repair of this unit. Okay, so, but actually a lot of these are being thrown out. A lot of them are being thrown out. They're on sale on eBay. People can't fix them. They're not repairable. People are contacting me off the YouTube channel. And this one's from a YouTube viewer, as you'll see in a minute. And I said, well, send it to me and I'll have a look at it, just out of the interest, because, you know, I'm getting very frustrated by the amount of stuff that's just being chucked out. I don't know why. It's just a thing I've got in my head that I want to do what I can. But actually, there's not much in here, you know. There's not much in here to go wrong. How could you have such a minimal design? If you think of a computer and how long they last and how well they work, compared to this, which has got virtually not much in it at all, and it's unreliable. You've got your DSP, you've got two crystals, got a bunch of power supplies to get the voltage rails for the processor. You've got a D2A, which takes the digital stream of bits from here and just pumps it into an analog to go into the D-class amplifiers. Why they didn't just keep it totally digital with a digital D-class amplifier, I don't know, because you can buy chips with it in. And then a couple other converters for the HDMI and for the coax audio, so a couple of digital to analog to digital converters to make the incoming audio into a bit stream if it comes in through over the analog side. So there's not much to it. So there's a few capacitors and a few electronic components. So what is going wrong, right? So if we're successful, we'll come up with a cure for this, and it may be very useful to other people. So this is stage one, and at the end of stage one I did some more investigation. And that's going to be in the stage, and the repair of this is going to be in stage two, which will be released in a day or two. I haven't got time to do the video, but it is working now, and it's been fixed. So it's a journey through the. If you find it boring and it's too wordy, well, just go to another channel, please. Don't listen to mine. This is for people who understand, are interested, and are curious about how to fix these things. If you're not interested, don't leave bad comments. Thanks. The rest of the video follows. Right, another Bose solo soundbar sent in by a YouTube viewer who was at his wit's end because he couldn't get one to fix it. So I'm having a look. Well, it might be completely futile, but you never know. But yeah, he just sent in this part. This is my test chassis, and this part here. So it boots up alright and goes beep beep. Now if I play some music, hopefully. Where's Spotify gone? You know, Spotify's never around when you need it. It's one of those applications that just buggers you around. Oh, here we are, Spotify. Yeah, see? And now if I hit the remote control, there, did you hear that? I had a little burst of music, and now we've got a fart coming out of it, like a constant, not 100 Hertz, is it? It's more than 100 Hertz. What frequency is that? Not 400, I'd say 200 Hertz, 100 Hertz, but is it coming out both speakers? Yeah. Yeah. So that's the fault on this one. I haven't seen this before, but yeah, we've got a constant. Let's just kill that. She's pulling the right amount of power. Have we got the right voltage on the old capacitors down here? I think we must have, otherwise it wouldn't be running, would it? Yeah, got 23.8 volts on there, so that's working. The old precision test finger has not detected any heat in the output stages. Sometimes when these Class D output chips go short, they play havoc with the power supply. So we've got a codec crash or some software error there. It's playing via the aux in at the moment. The customer unfortunately didn't report any faults, just sent it said it doesn't work. Didn't say how it didn't work. Didn't say it was making horrible noises, but I'm going to fiddle about with it and I'll come back to you if I can find anything wrong. Interesting. It's been on for ages. It doesn't crash unless you've got music playing. So maybe it's the choice of music it doesn't like. I will continue to look. Right, on these things, there is an update available. I don't know if it's going to cure it in this case, but it has revitalized a few that have gone a bit iffy. Okay, so the procedure is you wait until you've got a solid green light on, you power it up, and solid green light on the front, no music player, nothing. And the theory is because Bose don't want to give you a straightforward update, they want, you know, to dot the I's and cross the T's. You have to power it up, put a blank USB stick in the back, the right way up, into the service socket, like so. Now it's supposed to detect that and then write something to it. And then according to the website, which I'll show you in a moment, is when the light goes out, remove the thumb drive. So this light should go out on the front. You can't see it, but it's the indicator light underneath the Bose symbol on the front. And that light is supposed to go out when it's finished doing its thing. And it says, helpfully, if it doesn't go out, pull it out and stuff it back in again. So here's the rest of the instructions. Look, so we've done that bit. Run the application. Yeah, so then when you put it back into the computer, it checks to see what's in there and then gives you a suitable upgrade or not. I don't know why you just couldn't plug the USB connector into the back of your computer, let's face it, and do it online, all this bothering about with pen drives. I think they need some better firmware engineers at Bose. That's their problem. So the light is still on, I'm waffling away, nothing's happening. More minutes of my time being wasted. Jesus, is it going to go? See, unhelpfully, they could say it takes 15-20 seconds or 5 minutes, and then you'd know. So whoever wrote this, the technical author that put this and got the information from the engineer, wasn't thinking of all eventualities, was he? You could say, oh, it's going to take 2 minutes, or go and have a cup of tea, or come back next week. It just says if it doesn't go out, stuff it back in. I'm guessing that it should do it pretty quickly, to be honest, because it's only, I think, the version and serial number information for Bose. Don't think it's downloading any big files, so I'm going to take the advice on the website and pull it in, because obviously it didn't work for the technical author who was writing the procedure. Mind you, they all tend to be fairly superficial people, the technical authors. Failed technicians even. I'll shove it back in again. Come on, put some air around it. There we go. Ready? We're going in now. Oh, take it all. No indication of anything happening whatsoever on the front of the panel. No fleshy light, just a green light. Do you think it might have just died again and not died in an audible fashion? Let's put some music through it and see whether actually she's still awake or not. Now the reason is either she's crashed. Alright, so let's do a power reset and try her again. Maybe we can catch her before she starts contemplating the universe from within. Come on. I'm going to short out that capacitor because it's not a reliable reset of this thing. You have to wait about a minute for it to die down, so I'm just going to short circuit the little bit of sparky. Right, okay, so this time we're going to power up and then we're going to stuff her in. And which way up does it go? Let's just check which way. So it goes in that way. Okay, so I'm just going to leave her just in the hill, just the tip, and only for a minute. Alright, now we're going to go for some power. Give me a solid green light. Look at that, she's not even resetting. It's killed it completely now. Doing that absolutely killed it. It was at least resetting and starting up properly before, but now that has just killed it completely. That is blank. I checked that thumb drive was blank. Ah, okay, so we go. So let's turn her on. Get ready, turn her on and give her the beans before she has time to actually expire. I think there's probably a power supply fault on this, on the low old side. Now this time she went into the, because the music was playing, you see. She crashed straight away that time. It seems to be temperature dependent, because when I first put it on it worked for maybe 5 minutes. And I was thinking, what's this guy sent this in for? Because it's obviously working, but it's not anymore, is it? So we'll try that one more time. Withdraw the said dock. Let's have a look on the computer to see if there's anything on this at all. Where are we? And yeah, it's still empty. Now on that thing yet, boy. let's have another go. Come on, Bose, you can do it. So it only gives the evil buzz if there's input. If it doesn't, it just dies quietly. It goes, I'm gonna expire right away. Now this is part of the engineer's life, you know. It's boring. It's boring, this job. Let's reset her again. Let's short those caps out. Get mother on speed dial. Turn her back on again. You getting bored yet? I am. There we go. So stiff this in the hole. Power that up. Yep, she's all right. Put the in the hole before she crashes, or has she crashed already? Oh look, it worked. It's going amber, amber flashy flash. Oh, and it's gone out. So it must have done something. Woohoo! Let's pull it out. Stick it in the computer. Yeah, so what it's stuck on that memory stick is this file here. There's one file in the USB stick that was just in the Bose Solo. It's a config.xml, so it's an XML file, interchangeable text, whatever it's called. If I double click on it, you can see what's inside it at some point. Okay, so yeah. So let's just see if it works. I'll stuff it in the computer and then follow the rest of the procedure in one moment. So here's the rest of the instructions. Look, so we've done that bit. Run the application. So it actually should download first and then run the application, but never mind, eh? As long as you do all the steps, not necessarily in the right order, you'll be fine. So download now. Right, so there's an update, an XE thing I just downloaded. I'm opening it now. Can you see that? Run it. English. Select language, English. I accept terms of license agreement. Oh look, this just says your device has the latest software, so no further steps are required. Well, that's not going to fix it then, is it? So it must be another fault. Processor is crashing. Has it crashed already? Yeah, it's crashed again while we've been talking. It's decided to give up the ghost. So let's have a look at the processor and the data bus and see if we can see anything that's fixable on this or not. Okay. Yeah, so another marvellous update, not worked. So back to the drawing board. But if yours has got old firmware or is playing up, I haven't heard of it fixing anything. But when you phone the Bose support line, I do know they say, oh, you have to go through this procedure before we'll even speak to you, because it might be. And if also they'll send you a stick with it on if you need to. If you give them the serial number, they'll send you a USB stick. So if you're under warranty, you might get yourself a free USB stick, but you know, who's got the time really? So it's not the fault, so let's find something else to concentrate on.